have missed him, but I don't know if Sam Johnson came out. Is he dealing with an injury?
No, he had a prior commitment off the field thing. Not really prior commitment, but no, he's all good. He'll be back tomorrow.
I know you said you're hopeful before about the offensive line maybe being back together. Are you still hopeful that looking like it may be longer than just this week?
I definitely think we're making progress. We've got a couple of lingering things that, some of these guys are able to start doing some things on the field, and then you're trying to judge, all right, the difference between being able to do a few drills in practice and then, realistically being ready to go in and play in a game. So we're trying to judge that with these guys. We got a couple of guys that are close, but also dealing with a couple of nagging things that have held us back. And the thing we've tried not to be careful about is pouring a bunch of reps into a unit and then you end up playing with a different one. Now, if that happens, an injury in a game, that's just part of it. But we're trying to keep as much continuity there as we can. We think that's helped us. So we'll see how the week goes. We're better. We're not at a point where I'm like, no doubt those guys are ready to go. We're just not to that point yet.
Has anyone approached you about taking a volunteer redshirt to preserve a year just at this point in the season?
No, not really. Not really. Most of our red shirts, I think, were pretty well defined. I think the kids from the outside have struggled a little bit. I know the NCA finally came out and said they're not going to do the 5 for 5 right now. Just some of the back and forth on that. I think both them and the schools, not just us, have been trying to make decisions, just guessing on what that's going to be like. I still have a hard time imagining that won't happen at some point. I know they're going to wait until, I guess what we were told actually today was until after next season and kind of reevaluate it. So we'll see what happens from that. But right now, no. I mean, the guys that have been playing are still all teed up to play.
You talked about pouring reps in certain guys. Is that more cutting down the rotation, or is that getting guys ready who you need to rely on more?
I'd say a combination of both. You get to the end of the season or the latter part of the season, and your reps are always going to start getting trimmed a little bit. I mean, these guys have been going for a while now. You can't always just come out and practice the same number of reps that you do in August or September. So with that, you've got to trim down, who you're working. And I think we're just trying to be efficient with our reps and our guys' time right now. I mean, when you play the schedule that we do, we can't afford to just sit out here and be reckless and rep guys just for the hell of it. So guys that we feel like got a really good chance to come in there and help us, we're trying to pour those in. But I'm just trying not to come back after a practice week and, we poured all these reps into this combination or that, and we didn't even use it in the game. For where we're at right now with our roster, with some of the injuries we've had, with obviously the quality of our schedule, that's just not a luxury that we have right now.
And not to look too far ahead, but you got Saturday in Nebraska and you come home and play Friday night. Is that part of your schedule this week as well with practice?
Well, I mean, that part helps, I think, coming off of a bye week. That's certainly, that when we get to it has its challenges of the, obviously night game in a different time zone and then popping back here for a Friday game. So, no, I think we'll have to have some awareness this week. But, I mean, 99.9% of our focus on the schedule is getting ready to beat Nebraska. And then we'll obviously, deal with that as it comes and have to be ready to adjust because that will be a unique schedule next week.
You guys came out so strong after the last loss and then bye. What's maybe the unique challenge of a second time doing that? Is it like a different sort of set of motivating factors, like in terms of trying to copy what worked in that first bye coming out of that?
Well, I think there's a confidence that we did handle the bye well and we got better as a team and we're able to respond and play well. It's a new challenge, new matchup, all of that. But I think you take some of the things that we did, you take the confidence from it, and we poured a lot into that first bye week and then that prep week the following week, and the play showed, and so we got to be willing to put it all on the line again. I do think we've improved. I think we learned a lot about ourselves with some of these, really good matchups that we've had here as of late. And I think, we know what we got to do, and now it's very clear to us, and now we just got to do a great job of it.
Did any of the young guys on defense take a jump over the past couple weeks?
It's been great getting, a couple of the young secondary guys a few more reps. Reddick and Graham and some of those guys I think are, continuing to improve. Been excited about some of their improvement. I think we do have a pretty deep linebacking core, but I think some of our young linebackers are continuing to come along as well, and have a chance to help us, both this year and obviously in the future. We're still playing a handful of young guys, obviously on the defensive line as well, and their improvement, whether it's guys like Jakeem and some of these guys that are new to ball, or even a guy like Cam Crawford, excuse me, I still get caught, but even like a Cam who played a little bit of ball for us last year, is still young in a lot of ways and growing. So we worked a few different lineups there. We were able to get a lot of reps into a lot of different guys, attacked a lot of our fundamentals, and looking forward to a great week.
It was before the Nebraska game last year that Jaden got inserted at quarterback. In retrospect, how difficult was that to do midstream, both for you just kind of navigating all of the personalities and just dynamics of that, plus also Jaden kind of having to get ready in a hurry as the QB1?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, that position just it happens at a lot of positions throughout a year. That one just always feels different when it does. I've been a part of a few of them. None of them are ever easy. But I thought, the way that Jaden handled both when he wasn't the starter and then when he was, I think set the stage for, the player he's started to become and what he means to this team and program right now. I mean, handled it with class both ways, and that made a huge difference when you're going through something like that. And even to look back now, even like on last year's film and all that, and see how much he's grown as a player, a leader, all that from then, it's a shocking difference. It's that much. So it'll be kind of full circle this time.
What do you see from Nebraska's pass defense? They don't generate a lot of pressure or create sacks, but they're pretty good at stopping the catch, 5 yards per attempt.
No, they are. They've been really good all year. They've got a couple of really gifted DBs. They've been able to play some different lineups there. They do a good job of mixing up coverages, giving offenses a lot of different looks, making competitive plays down the field when they do get aggressive, but they also are really disciplined in their zones as well. So, I give credit to their coaches. I think schematically do a really good job, and players, you can tell, really know their scheme, and they've been able to move some pieces around, which looks like they've been able to obviously have benefited from that, and so that'll be a good challenge. Nobody's really thrown the ball well on them up to this point.
Let's do one more. Moving Zach Hanson to coach the offensive line, what kind of benefits have you seen from that decision?
Well, he's done a great job. He really has. I mean, I think that was a hire that, I think some people in the beginning, maybe looked at a couple of times. It's obviously an important position at a place like this, but it was really a no-brainer hire for us. He's done an awesome job. I think just building the mentality of the room, building the depth. I mean, to miss the guys that we've missed this year, play with the different lineups, all the guys out, and really the guys have played at a pretty high level. We've been, we've executed well. We haven't made a lot of mistakes. I mean, if you just look, just how few penalties that we've had. We look like a well-coached unit right now. So I give him a lot of credit. He continues to get better and better. He's got a good room to work with, and it's a great room right now. I think that room, as you look forward to the next few years, is just going to get better and better.